And the fact that she was driving off without her luggage.
I know. I'll be twitching like a crazy.
Oh, you'd get that horrible nerve flick. And she comes out with this wadded...
She comes out with this big wadded paper.
I mean, you need another murder.
You do.
He's kind of doing this down the stairs.
Yeah, this car is hot. Look at
It's the
Pollock in here.
Welcome to Screen Time, the show where we like to watch movies from our past and re-experience them, or watch new movies afresh.
Absolutely.
If you like this kind of content, please feel free to like and subscribe. Well, and this one is quite an old one.
It's an old one.
It's an oldie but a goodie.
It's one that we've seen, well, I've seen it quite a lot, but it's been a long time since I've seen it.
Yeah.
So this week we are watching Psycho by Alfred Hitchcock. So, Lou, when did you first see Psycho?
Oh, I think I saw Psycho when I was probably at university.
Okay, yeah.
So I think it was probably one of those ones that I studied.
It's like a Hitchcock thing,
yeah,
isn't it? It's the most regarded one
yeah,
that he's done.
I think so. And I think also maybe I got a DVD from you.
Probably.
To watch it as well. And
probably a VHS from me.
It would have been a VHS, yeah. And I remember not necessarily being scared because I think there'd been other things that had...
Well, you grew up on quite a lot of horror.
It started with Aliens, so... there was no stopping.
When you're like
there.
7 or
exactly. But yeah, I liked it. I really enjoyed it. Yeah. And
I mean, the same, probably on TV or something. Yeah. So it's one of those films that's always been there. Obviously, it's such an old film, but it's always been there. So it's very... going into this, I was trying to look at it completely fresh and completely like as if I hadn't actually watched it before.
It's hard though, isn't it?
Well, it's hard, but also there's such... Okay, so let's start off. This film, Psycho, made in 1960, directed by Alfred Hitchcock. It's got Anthony Perkins, who plays Norman Bates. Vera Miles plays Lila Crane. John Gavin plays Sam Loomis, the boyfriend. We've got Martin Balsam, who plays... the investigator, I always pronounce his name wrong, Arbogast, isn't it?
Arbogast, yeah.
And then we've got Janet Leigh, who plays Marion Crane. So it's quite a small little cast. I mean, there's obviously incidental characters here and there. But what I was going to say is it's one of those films that when I wanted to watch this again today, I wanted to look at it as if I'd never seen the film before. And for me, it's like there's quite a long lead up to the big events or the main story per se.
Yeah.
Never did eat your lunch, did you?
I better get back to the office. These extended lunch hours give my boss excess acid.
That when I was watching it, I was thinking, you go into this movie with the word title, Psycho, so you're constantly guessing who's the psycho.
Yeah.
Who is the psycho?
Who is it going to turn out
for
to be?
For the longest, there's so many hints all the way through that it might be the cop. The cop is obsessively following her.
Yes.
And, won't let her out of his sight. And so if you don't watch this movie, if you didn't know anything about this movie, you would be suspecting, you would even suspect...
Is it going to be the boyfriend?
Is it going to be... It might even be Marion.
Yeah.
When I send my ex-wife for alimony, you can lick the stamps.
I'll lick the stamps.
Obsessing over him.
Obsessing over
when she does the money.
I was trying to look at it completely like as if I didn't know anything about it, which is very difficult to do.
It's really hard to do. I mean, I did watch it about a year ago.
Okay,
and was showing it to someone who hadn't seen it before.
Okay.
And was not necessarily into watching movies or older movies.
Right.
So I did in some ways get to see it through some fresh eyes by just observing their expressions as they watched it.
Yeah.
And then what? After supper, music, whispers?
Mother, she's just a stranger. She's hungry and it's raining out.
But they got a lot out of it.
That's interesting.
Yeah. And also the fact that, a lot of people that watch movies nowadays, especially, I mean, I'm generalising, but sometimes younger people don't necessarily want to gravitate to black and white movies.
No, I think there's that natural barrier, isn't there?
And despite that, they got a lot out of it. And actually, I think it was a bit of a cement for them that I can enjoy a black and white movie, which was lovely, actually.
Well, what I like about sort of Alfred Hitchcock movies in general is that they paint the structure really well. So they do this almost forensic environment. You know, okay, let's go further on with that. But anyway, so let's take
some steps back.
Let's take some steps back.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the plot initially, and then we can talk about little things in the plot. So
we're so structured, aren't we? Always.
Just all over the place. I need a haircut. Look at it.
Oh my goodness.
Look at that.
Let's not go. Well, that's a different channel. Well, that's a whole different video.
It is a different video.
Yeah.
Okay, so the plot, we're introduced to Marion Crane. First of all, there's an introduction to Phoenix, Arizona, and it's all bright. The titles also are very jagged, and when Psycho comes up, it's very like disjointed.
Yeah.
It's kind of like duality to it.
I mean, the music as well,
Yeah,
right? The music
very,
is really it has a sinister element to it. So you go in going, okay. So what it's telling you with the title, it's matching with the music.
Absolutely. And then you're introduced to this, panning shot of Arizona, Phoenix, and the taglines come up. It explains where you are, what day it is, what time it is.
Yeah.
And it's like it's like something like 2:43 p.m. And I think the reason they do that, or it was done, it's almost like you're watching like a forensic kind of like a crime thing.
Or a crime is about to happen.
Yeah. So it's almost like you're watching a show that is a truthful telling of something. And so I found that very interesting. I hadn't really thought about it before.
No.
But when you watch it, you go, oh, why would they put that? It's almost like a documentary. It's almost like, So that was interesting. And then, of course, you get brought into this room. It's a great shot. The camera sort of moves in on this window, and then you're suddenly in this hotel room, and you've got Marion, and you've got Sam Loomis, who is her boyfriend.
Why don't you call your boss and tell him you're taking the rest of the afternoon off? Friday anyway, and hot.
There's this great for a start, at that time in 1960, it was actually quite, it was pushing the boundaries of censorship, having two people that are obviously having sex on the same bed. And so that was really, you weren't allowed to have two people that weren't married on the same, and certainly in a double bed. So it was really pushing the boundaries of censorship at the time. So the basic establishment is that he has just been divorced, and he's paying alimony to his wife. He works in the back of like a shop. He doesn't have much money, and for some reason they can't really move on with their lives. And he's going, "I'm so in debt. I'm so sorry. I love you so much." So they're at this sort of threshold where they can't really move on with their lives.
Oh, and you want to cut this off? Go out and find yourself somebody available.
And then we get introduced to Marion going to her job, and she works as like an estate agent.
Yeah,
she's like a secretary and property agent. And there's a great moment where she's sitting there and she's talking with her friend, and then the boss brings this guest in. And thinking back to what I was saying before, when the guest comes in, he's straight on her, and he's really flirting, saying how much money he's got and everything.
Oh, it's like this big sell that he does to her.
Yeah.
Are you unhappy?
Not inordinately.
And he's really in her face.
Very much.
And it's funny because when he walks away, the other lady goes, "Oh, he was flirting with you," and I was thinking.
And then and what's funny about that is then her friend goes, "Oh, he must have seen my wedding ring. That's my wedding
my
wedding.
Your wedding ring. Yeah.
Wedding ring. That's why he didn't.
I know. I loved that. I loved that. I'd never clocked that before.
It's a really lovely moment.
He was flirting with you. I guess he must have noticed my wedding ring.
Anyway, she's been told to take this $40,000 and put it in the bank. And she says, "Oh, I've got a terrible headache. I'll do it on the way home." That's
right.
And then you cut to her home, and she's packing her suitcase. She's on her way to see Sam, and she still hasn't deposited the money.
No. And it is funny because you see the money, it's on the bed. And then the camera sort of does a pan, and then you see the suitcase.
Yes.
And it's kind of like, are these two going to go together?
Yes. Yeah. He's very clever, as I said before, in sort of laying down what is important in the shot. And the money, I mean, we call it now, well, Hitchcock called it the MacGuffin. It's the thing that drives the plot along.
Yeah.
And the money in this movie is what drives it along. And a MacGuffin can be completely throwaway. It can be something that you don't even know about. It can be
And it is.
And it is. It's in this movie. It's completely throwaway.
It really is.
But what? Carry on.
No,
you say
I
so.
was going to go a few steps ahead. And
Yeah,
go
go a few steps ahead.
Well, that's what I find really interesting about this movie because, you know, the money, yes, is throwaway, but he throws it away. He throws it in the car.
Yes.
So at some point, even if they needed to fight, they all knew the situation with her,
Mm-hmm.
but they would have found the evidence in the end.
Yes.
Because the car is brought out.
Yes, that's right. Exactly.
So,
yes. Yeah.
and that's what I love about it, because you think it's throwaway, but
Mhm.
actually, in some ways, it cements her guilt.
It cements her guilt, but also it is the driving force for Arbogast to be, because he gets brought into the case because the money has gone.
Yes.
They're not bothered about the fact that Marion hasn't shown
No,
up for
it's
work.
literally
It's
just-
like she's taken $40,000.
You've got two separate
yeah,
links,
you've got
haven't
two
you?
separate links, yeah.
Well, I ain't about to kiss off $40,000. I'll get it back, and if any of it's missing, I'll replace it with her fine, soft flesh.
Let's
Step
backtrack
back
a bit.
again.
So anyway, so she's got this money. She decides to drive to Sam's home, which is in Fairvale, California. And as she's driving along, it's a fantastic shot. It's
Yeah.
just of her. You get the occasional shot of her looking in the rearview mirror. It's all reflections and stuff like that. And she's got this thought process that's going through, and she's obviously clicking through what is potentially happening.
Marion, what in the world? What are you doing up here? Of course, I'm glad to see you. I always am.
Yes, I mean, it's always really funny when I watch this scene or these scenes,
Mhm.
because sometimes I think, is this something, initially when she starts off the journey, it's her imagining what's happening.
Yeah.
And then as the movie progresses, it feels more like it's what is happening in the background.
Heck, officer, that was the first time I ever saw the customer high pressure the salesman. Somebody chasing her?
Because when she spots her boss,
Mhm.
because when she's in the car and she's on her
on her
way out
way,
of the
yeah.
city, her boss crosses in front of her and he
Mhm.
gets a glimpse, and there's that quick moment where they
Both recognise
they
each other.
lock on
Yeah.
to each other.
Yeah.
And straight away as a viewer, you're going, well, she was meant to be ill.
At home, yeah.
And so he's probably thinking that. And then straight away her mind starts processing the same thing.
Yeah.
And so in that respect, it feels like that's her imagining
Yeah.
what he's gone back and said.
Yeah.
But then later, when, you know, it's been a couple of days and there's the thing to do with she gets a new car.
Mhm.
It
I don't think it's a couple of days. It's literally the same.
well, it's the same day, or it's the day after, or something, because time passes, and then she goes, well,
'Cause
she's
it's a
meant to be on work,
it's
meant
a-
to be at work.
Yeah, but it's a Friday, and she doesn't come back to work until I think they're looking for her because her sister comes back from Flagstaff
Yes.
on the Monday.
Yes.
Yes.
But that's the thing. When
Yeah.
it hits to the Monday,
Yes.
it's been a
Oh, I
few
see what
days.
you mean. Yes,
yeah. So
okay.
when
Sorry.
she's starting to have those thought processes,
Mhm.
and you know that you have the gentleman saying, "Well, I want my 40,000. We need to go after her," and
Yeah.
the sister's going, "Well, where's my sister?
Yes.
Has anyone looked for her?" I think that actually could be the real plot, because that sets those things off in motion. So
I
it's not
see.
necessarily what she's thinking. I wonder if that is actually what is
happening.
So there's
Okay.
two separate things.
Yeah, you can take it both ways,
Yeah.
can't you? Which is really clever.
No, I haven't the faintest idea. As I said, I last saw your sister when she left this office on Friday.
And then, of course, what happens is that she starts to get even more paranoid because a cop flags her down. Is it her light at the back isn't working?
No, she was asleep.
She was asleep. That's right. She parks to the
She'd
side.
been
Yeah.
driving
Mhm.
during the day,
Yeah.
and she felt that she was falling asleep at the wheel.
That's
so
right.
she sleeps overnight on the side of the road, and he picks her up in the morning. He
Yes.
spots her in the morning.
Hold it there.
And he knocks on the window and wakes her up.
That's
and
right.
straight away there's this guilt, because
Mm.
she seems so guilty because she tries to start driving.
Yeah, it's
and he's like,
hang on, wait, yes.
You know.
You slept here all night?
Yes. As I said, I couldn't keep my eyes open.
And that's why he follows her, because he's like,
Yeah.
this is weird behaviour.
There's some great shots as well, because he's got these reflective glasses and she's reflected in the glasses. And so there's all this kind of paranoia going on as well. And that's when I started feeling a bit weird about the cop, because it was like, it's almost irrational, the amount of time he spent. I mean, he's suspicious of her.
Yeah.
But there's one point where she drives off and she loses him.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then she decides, oh gosh, this car is hot. I need to get rid of this car.
That's the one I'd have picked for you myself.
How much?
Go ahead, spin it around the block.
It looks fine.
So she goes in and she basically just wants to get rid of the car. She doesn't care. And the guy's trying to, mark her down, or you sure you don't want to, and she's like, no, I don't want to haggle. I just want the car.
It's the first time the customer ever high-pressured the salesman.
And then across the road is the cop again. And so you're like, what is going on with this cop? It just really, that whole drive is really tense for me.
My heart sort of sinks at that point, because you think, well, all that effort that she's spending on a new car is a complete waste.
And he's watching her drive out in the new one.
And they're probably like jotting down the number he's going to give the cop the details.
She wasn't very good. She's not very good as like a thief.
And the fact that she was driving off without her luggage.
I know.
Hey!
And I never quite understood the plot of why she takes the money out of the envelope and then folds it into a newspaper. Because I just think, well, surely it's safer in an envelope. When she goes to the toilet in the
That's
in
right.
the
And she
car,
comes out with this
She comes out with this big wadded paper with all the paper. And I was thinking, that could easily slip out. Keep it in the envelope. Anyway, we could have given her tips.
Absolutely.
But there we go.
Well, never mind.
So she continues her drive. And it starts to rain, and you get all this distortion, and the conversation is still going on in her head, but it starts getting darker.
Hot creeper, she sat there while I dumped it out. Hardly even looked at it. Planning and even flirting with me.
It starts getting, the guy's going, oh, I'm going to take it,
Yeah.
There's some really dark conversations going on with, she's starting to imagine, I think, at this point, what the conversations that are going on. And then she,
That's when she sees the
she
sign.
sees this sort of like distorted sign, and so she parks over and whatever. And this is the first time you get introduced to, the
Bates.
location, and to Bates.
And to Bates.
And to Norman.
Gee, I'm sorry I didn't hear you in all this rain. Go ahead in, please.
For me, this was really interesting because he's really charming. He's charming. He's a young, good-looking guy.
Yeah.
Really affable,
very
smiley.
You have a vacancy?
Oh, we have 12 vacancies. 12 cabins, 12 vacancies.
It feels really homely.
Yeah.
I don't really know anything about birds. My hobby is stuffing things. Taxidermy.
Even though he's got stuffed birds in that office, but I don't know if he gives her warm milk or something, but there's but he makes her a sandwich.
Well, she says, he goes, there's a diner down the road. And he goes, you're not going to drive down the road, though, are you? You're too tired. She goes, yeah. And he goes, would you like me to make you a sandwich? And she says, yes, that'd be lovely. And so you think, this is really sweet.
Yeah.
It's all for you. I'm not hungry. Go ahead.
And then, I don't know, it starts to turn a little bit, just for me, it's like, okay, you tell me what you think about it.
No, you go for it.
Well, I was just going to say that he says, oh, well, why don't we just go into the office? The office is, it's warmer in there.
Yeah.
And it's cozier. And then once they're in the office, he's like, let's go into the parlor, the room behind. And so he keeps leading her deeper and deeper into this kind of like smaller, more intimate room.
Eating in an office is just too officious. I have the parlor back here.
All right.
I've never really picked up on that. For me, obviously, it's the main thing is as soon as she starts talking about the mother.
Oh, yeah.
Wouldn't it be better if you put her someplace?
And moving the mother, that's when it literally triggers him, and he turns so rapidly.
Well, he does, but it's sort of, again, it's like you kind of feel for him because because what happens is that he goes off to the house to make the sandwich, and he has a conversation with his mother. His mother saying, why do you want to entertain this woman? Blah, 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 blah. And she hears all of this. And so when he comes back, she says, oh, I'm sorry, I've got you into some trouble. And he said, oh, no, it's fine. She's just not feeling that great today. And
my mother, what is the phrase? She isn't quite herself today.
And you start to feel for him. You start
Yeah.
to think, this poor guy, he's here by himself. He's looking after his invalid mother. And he's
having to look at this whole motel.
Having to look after this old motel. It's not very busy. There's probably no money coming in. And he's, you know, and he's a young guy.
Yeah.
And all it's these things that
stuck.
he's stuck there. All these opportunities that he could have.
Yeah.
And she does make the mistake of suggesting, well, you know, I know there are places that maybe she could go. And that's when he sort of, it's not necessarily an evilness. It's like
just a trigger.
It's like a, you know, you can't, what are you saying?
People always call a madhouse someplace, don't they? Put her in someplace.
It kind of gives an inkling a little bit that maybe he's been in one of these institutions as well.
Because he knows so much about them.
He seems to know so much about them, which is the first kind of like little clue that he's not quite there. But then again, you know, he's a single man all by himself with his mother. And so and there's these little indications of like this unhealthy relationship and stuff.
Yeah.
Do you go out with friends?
Well, a boy's best friend is his mother.
Which is always kind of, I mean, at the time, maybe in the 60s, it maybe wouldn't have been quite as, I don't know.
Yeah, possibly.
I don't know, I can't say. The conversation that they have, it's almost like it clears some things up in Marion's mind. And she's like, yes, there's things I need to sort out with my life. I'm going to return back to Phoenix. She actually says to Norman, she goes, yeah, I need to go back and sort out some problems that I've caused.
I stepped into a private trap back there, and I'd like to go back and try to pull myself out of it.
She goes back into her room and she writes out on a piece of paper. I mean, it's a very simple sum, to be honest with you. But anyway, she has to write it down, you know, for plot.
Exactly.
But she writes down this sum of like how much she has to deduct because she's just bought a car out of this money. And then she rips it up and flushes it down the toilet, which is another big thing because the toilet shown on the early 1960s movie was like a no-no.
Oh, really?
Yeah, flushing a toilet. It was just not,
That's amazing. Okay.
It's crazy. So anyway, but he decided to make that part of the plot to obviously try and get the censors to go, yeah, okay, it's a necessary part of the plot. So she flushes this bill. And then there's a scene after she's gone into her room and she's getting unchanged, and you actually see Norman take off her painting from his thing. And it's the first time you think, oh, creepy. Creepy. He's spying on her. It's a peephole.
And it does make you wonder how many times he's done that before for there to be a peephole.
Yes, it's planned.
It's planned. And if he has whatever's he's thinking of doing to Marion, if that has happened before as well.
Yeah.
Because he moved her to that particular room.
Yes, he was going to give her one key and then he goes to cabin one.
Yeah. And he doesn't seem to be feeling embarrassed about looking either. So it does make you wonder if this
is... there's almost like a shame though, because he's looking and then he sort of looks away and puts the picture up, and it's like taboo.
But the fact that it's there does make you wonder if he...
Agreed.
That it's something that he does.
It's happened before, definitely. Yeah, for that hole to be there, it's happened. And then, of course, you go to the scene that everyone knows about, which is like the shower scene. But what's clever about that scene is that there's no music. There's music when she's writing down on the desk, and she's like, and she puts the music away.
It's
and then
running water,
it's just the sound of running water, and she's getting ready. She's in the shower, and there's very still, quick shots around her before the actual attack happens. It's like establishing shots.
Like close-ups of her,
close-ups of the curtain of this.
Yeah, and the shower head.
It shows you the confinement of the space she's in. She's in that little cubicle there, and then she's got the thing, and so you feel kind of enclosed. And then the reveal of when she's having the shower, and then you see the background through the curtain, and they give it 50% of the camera of the lens of the frame.
Yeah,
she's in 50%, and then there's this empty space here of the shower.
And
then you see the shadow of the door, reflection of the door opening behind the shower curtain, and then this figure coming in. And then
and it's so distorted.
It's so
because of the
distorted, you can't
curtain.
quite make it out. But you can see it's someone coming forward, and then it starts to appear that it's got hair with a bun and stuff. But at that point, she kind of drifts out of the shot, and she becomes like full frame in the shot as this killer.
Yeah.
And then what I find fascinating about the next sequence when she's fighting off the attack, you never see the knife at any point touch the body.
No.
There's just
it's blurred.
It's blurred. There's shots where you see the knife going here, and she's like doing this, but you never see
you never see any penetration of the knife at all.
No, it's really clever.
It's all just suggested,
and
then you see, and then it's just the noise. The noise. It's a really good sound effect because it sounds how you could imagine it being.
Exactly.
And then there's bits of sort of flesh or blood going down into
chocolate sauce.
Did they really?
Because it picked up really well on black and white camera.
And I suppose there's an element of like globular. But I mean, it's but it's very successable in the way that it looks. I mean, it looks horrendous and it's very, very violent.
And then of course you've got
the but it's close up, motions because it's like a stomach and
But you just see body.
Yeah.
You just see body
and then as soon
shapes
as the knife comes in, the body blurs.
Yes.
So you don't.
Yeah.
It's very clever.
It's really clever.
Yeah.
And then of course you've got Herman's soundtrack over the top, which obviously everyone knows.
Yeah. Which kind of suggests just
the
how
swinging
rapid the
it's
knife.
like the swinging of the knife. It's really so effective.
Yeah. And the soundtrack is very loud at that point
at that point it really and I think that's why they went very quiet beforehand when she was showering initially. It's very quiet. It's suddenly this onslaught of kind of, like sensory it's so much stuff going on.
Yeah.
And that's amazing. And there's right after the attack, she is trying to get out of the bath. And she pulls the curtain down and then she slumps down.
Yeah.
And that shot, they had to do it, I think, about 6 or 7 times.
The slow pull away.
Yeah, because she had to remain with her eyes open because it was way before digital. First of all, I thought it was just a freeze frame, but it wasn't because there's a trickle of liquid that comes down.
There's movement around, and you can kind of see the light change on her eye as the camera changes. You can see that the light reflects slightly differently.
How she did that, I don't know.
I have no idea.
I'll be twitching like a crazy.
You'd get that horrible nerve flick.
On a close up like that, it's just insane. But it's such a great shot.
But it just rotates.
Yeah, because it's the water going down the drain, and then it blends to her eye. Just pulling back and pulling back. And that brilliant shot because it goes back and back. And does it cut? I don't think it cuts because it goes to the toilet, then goes to the money.
Links everything together.
And then it goes to the window where you hear him go, and there's blood.
Yes, but I had never noticed before, but the way that the voice is, it sounded a lot like the mother.
Mother, oh God, mother, blood.
Rather than his voice. The tone of it sounded a little bit distorted. I kept rewinding it because I was like, is that the mother saying, mother, blood? But it was done in quite a weird voice that it didn't sound like him. It wasn't deep. And I wondered, is that a bit of an indication?
Maybe.
I
don't
have to
know.
watch it again and see. But on my sound, it sounded like it. And I was like, is that the mother saying that?
Okay. Well, that's interesting because I hadn't really picked up on that.
No. Yeah, so then of
course...
So
he's like, blood. And then you get a shot of the house and him running down the thing and him discovering the body. And what's great about that is, again, he looks in, he does this, he comes back, he knocks a picture of the bird off the wall. Then his realization, he's like, it's almost like, how do I sort this out? It's almost like this is fresh, this hasn't happened before, but you kind of know it's happened before. There's like...
He has a process.
He's got a process.
I mean, it's not like, You know, he slapdash, he gets the mops out, and he seems to do that really well.
He seems to do it very well, but initially he's kind of like, oh no, how do I sort this out?
A performance.
It's a bit almost like a performance. It's almost like his rational side is like discovering it for the first time.
It's like the switch over.
Yeah, it's like the switch over to Norman.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if you haven't guessed already, he's got like a dual personality. So first he closes the windows and then he comes back and there's a shot where he's walking in and out. He goes to get the mop from the office and he comes in and all the time the camera is behind the money. So as he's walking through, it does this. And so the money's in the foreground, the money's important, and he's going off and he's doing all this stuff. And it's quite forensic, the way he's sort of cleaning up the bathroom and he's wrapping the body. And so there's a lot of time spent on this whole process. And it's almost recovery time, I think, for the viewer as well, just to
get over that moment.
Happened.
But I mean, when you're kind of on a low angle and he's mopping up the blood from the floor and up the side of the bath and everything, and there are moments where I find myself thinking, he's just left a bit, he's missed a bit. He does miss a bit, and you just think, if he was in today's day and age, I mean, they would be like that.
Yeah,
I mean,
they'd be getting swabs and no problem. They'd find
but I
him
mean,
immediately.
yeah,
in the
he's
day,
quite slapdash.
He's quite slapdash. Yeah, you've got to sort of disassociate with the fact that we're watching it with modern technology.
Because I spot it each time I watch. I'm like, there's a little bit still on the side of the bar.
You know, you go in there with a black light, like, look at Jackson Pollock in here.
It's the OCD in me. But anyway.
Ultimately, you think, okay,
and then he uses the shower curtain.
He uses the shower curtain to just put the body in the trunk of her car.
Yeah.
And they leave the money right till the very last moment. You think, okay, the money's going to be, people are going to discover the money. People are going to go, there's the money. They're going to piece it together. But he has a quick scan of the room, sees the newspaper. He doesn't know there's money in there. No. I don't think he'd care.
No, and chucks it in the car.
Just chucks it in the car.
And that is the driving force of the movie is gone.
Yeah.
You know, she's gone, the money's gone. So you're like, well, where are we now?
Yes, it can go anywhere, can't it? Which is really fascinating. It's almost like this is the start of the movie. Yeah. Almost. It's like, oh, here we go.
Oh, there's
fresh
the
start.
psycho.
Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes, miss?
I'm Marion's sister.
Sure, Lila.
Is Marion here?
And then, of course, you know, one of the voices that you've heard in her mind, in her trail of thoughts, is the sister. Yeah. And you know, and also there's the boyfriend. The boyfriend and the inspector.
And the inspector. So it's almost like a fresh introduction. You get the new cast of characters coming. You get Lila, who's the sister, and you get Sam, who's the boyfriend, obviously, that you've met before. And she comes into his shop and says, where's my sister? You know, what's going on? I haven't heard from her since, you know, I got back from Flagstaff. And then just as they're having this conversation, she thinks that he's been plotting with Marion or something. And then suddenly Arbogast comes in. You see a real close-up of him as he walks in through the door. And so they almost become this threesome of kind of like investigation.
Yeah. She left home on Friday. I was in Tucson over the weekend, and I haven't heard from her since.
And it's the inspector that goes off first, going around different hotels.
Yes.
Well, she's not back there with the nuts and bolts, but she's here in this town somewhere. I'll find her.
He suspects that was coming to see him.
Yeah.
So he goes to, it's like a montage, isn't it? It's a montage of him going to all these hotels and motels, trying to find, and then the last breath, he sort of comes across
the Bates Motel. Yeah.
Evening.
Evening.
I love this bit because it's like he's so sharp in the way he picks up on. I mean, you don't have to be that sharp because Norman's kind of a bit fumbly in what he's saying.
Yes.
But there's some, like when he's asking about, so you do remember her being here.
You want to check the picture again?
Look, I wasn't lying to you, Mr.
Oh, I know that. I know you wouldn't lie.
And so, did she make any calls? And he goes, no. Well, how do you know she didn't make any calls? Did you sleep with her?
Oh, yeah.
And his reaction was like, no. She's not still here, is she? No, like this. And it's really cool because we know what's happened. And those questions are really on point, and his reaction to them is great.
No, you said before that she was sitting back there,
standing
back
yes,
there.
but back in my parlor there, she was very hungry, and I made her a sandwich.
No, it's, yeah. I wasn't really thinking as you were talking. That was great.
Typical.
That was great. Oh, stop. No, I mean, yes, I agree with you completely. I think he trips over his words so much, but that's the point of that particular scene anyway, because, I mean, you need another murder.
You do. Yes, you do. That's true. You do need another
But, I mean,
murder.
he is pushy.
She might have fooled me, but she didn't fool my mother.
Well, then your mother met her. Could I talk to your mother?
No, as I told you, she's confined.
I feel sorry for him for the inspector.
Right.
Because the first time he interviews him, I mean, he interviews Norman, he's fine, he finds out the information, but obviously the inspector is very suspicious of Norman's answers, and so goes to make the telephone call to speak to Sam and her sister.
Yeah, she spent last Saturday night at the Bates Motel. It's right out here on the old highway. I even know what cabin she was in. It was number 1.
And says, I'm at this hotel, I'm going to go back, but I'll come and speak to you later.
Yeah.
And of course, so he goes back, and
there's a great shot because as the car is driving in, you see Norman walking across, and then he goes into one of the other cabins. It's like he disappears into the set behind.
Yes.
And then Arbogast drives in. So you know he's around.
But not sure where. Yeah, exactly. And then, of course, he does what you shouldn't do and go up and explore the house.
Well, certainly not without a warrant.
Yeah. I don't know if it happens with Arbogast, but when people are approaching the house, the camera is looking tightly on them as they're walking up. So you're walking backwards. So you don't look at the house as you're walking with the person.
Well, what's clever as well, the angle's very high.
Yeah.
So you're looking down on them as they're walking up. But then as the reverse camera, the camera's really low, so the house is massive.
Yeah.
It's like silhouetting the character as it walks up. So it's got this imposing kind of, it's really cool.
Yeah,
shot,
and I mean, this particular scene with the inspector is, I mean, it's it's well done.
It's really well done.
It's well done because watching it fresh on for a first viewing, you just don't realise what's going to happen. And I mean, he's going up the stairs, and again, you're going up the stairs backwards, and he's walking up towards you. And then there's that very high aerial shot where you're looking down and suddenly
on the landing.
Suddenly this woman runs out of the room and he's just got to the top of the stairs, and literally straight away just stabs him, and then the camera cuts to the same position that you were in as he was on his way up, but it's kind of slow-mo, isn't it? Well, it's an element of slow-mo because he's tripping up, he's kind of doing this down the stairs, and he's you can see where he's been hit. And then the camera then does a side view where you see him lose his footing on the last step and falls on the floor.
And then she just pounces on him. It's just like really, and then it's so much more aggressive. Actually. You just see the actions because it's off her back. Yeah. But that whole sequence was, I believe it was shot when Hitchcock had flu. So his his wife.
Yes.
She actually filmed that shot, and she said, and basically it's a back projection. You can kind of see it's a back projection, and he's just sort of miming going up the stairs like this, and then they've got this, the staircase retreating as he's going up. It's really, it looks a bit kind of bizarre now, but I kind of like the style of it, particularly when he's falling back and he's doing this. It's such an interesting look.
Yeah, and I think it makes it disturbing as a viewer, for the viewer. It makes it disturbing. It makes it a little bit like this, which kind of goes with the fact that he has been stabbed, and he probably, it's shock. It's a shock, and if you're losing blood or whatever, maybe it is a bit disorientating.
I can't think it would have been.
I could imagine it could be.
What just happened?
Exactly. So I think it all kind of fits in.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, absolutely. So I do love that bit actually, but
how nice. How morbid.
It's just so brilliantly done,
it's
isn't
great.
it?
It's great.
It's brilliantly done. And then again, it cuts again where they don't hear from they don't hear from Abigail.
So they go.
So they go and talk to the chief. They call up the chief of police,
right.
and they have this conversation. And really, it kind of just muddies the water because they have a conversation about, well, his mother died. How can the mother be sick? They're a quirky couple.
Sheriff.
And she's like, well, she's buried in the cemetery.
Yeah.
So if you saw her up in the window, who's buried in the cemetery?
Well, if the woman up there is Mrs. Bates, who's that woman buried out in Green Lawn Cemetery?
And really, the story's actually quite simple.
Yeah.
But they add in these things, and you're like, so who the... Huh?
Yeah.
There's
two women.
There's two women, is it? You know.
Yeah.
So I love that bit. But that's right, because Sam had gone to the house and seen the mother in the window.
Yes.
No Arbogast, no Bates. Only the old lady at home. Sick old lady unable to answer the door.
So that's when he reports back and he goes, with the mother, I saw the mother in there and stuff. And then they decide to go back and investigate themselves. I don't know how I feel about the last part of the movie, actually. I mean, it's still very tense because Sam has got Norman cornered in he's questioning him.
Yes.
Lila then goes up to the house by herself. And there's that scene where she's going around the mother's bedroom.
Yeah.
That is super bizarre and creepy. You didn't talk about the bed.
Yeah.
It makes you, it's like you don't see anything, but there's enough of an indication in there for you to go, oh, that's so grim. Because the bed has got like this indentation where something has just been lying on this bed still for a very long time for there to be that sort of indentation.
The mold of a body. The mold of a body.
Which you don't really know at this point, but there's enough clues, And then you get a great shot of those two enclasped hands. It's like the jewelry box. It's kind of creepy. It's very old styling, and it's like it's out of time. It shouldn't be there.
Yeah.
She goes to the wardrobe, and there's all these old clothes hanging up, and it's just like, it's just weird.
It is weird.
And then she catches a reflection of herself, which gives her a bit of a jump start.
Yeah. You do kind of worry that she's going to be seen because she passes the window quite a lot as well.
Yes, she does.
So you're always a little bit tense that when Sam's chatting away or trying to make conversation with Bates, Bates will look outside and see her.
Yeah.
So you're always a little bit on edge. Yeah. And also, you're looking out for a mother that's gone mad.
Yeah, it's like, because
so you're wondering, is somebody going to come running out?
From a fresh viewer's this mother is hiding somewhere. You know where she's hiding, but she's hiding in the house.
Exactly.
Is this sister going to get the same treatment? So you're all on edge, I think, watching this.
I know, and there's one moment that doesn't quite hold for me, in that when she's on her way down the stairs, Norman has realised, he's like, "Where's that woman that you arrived with?" And then he knocks Sam out.
Yeah.
And then rushes up to the house.
Yeah.
And you see him running up and she spots him. So she runs and goes down towards a lower stair and has her hands over the bars like this. So she's gripping the banisters like that. And he comes in and you see him like look upstairs and then kind of go like that. And I always think, oh, you silly woman, you should have just stood back, because she's there like this. And you just think, well, he must have seen.
Well, maybe he did.
Well, because he runs upstairs, doesn't he? And we know.
We know. So she goes down into the cellar, into the apple cellar. The apple cellar. Anyway, she goes down into the cellar. She goes down into the cellar, and you know that the mother's kept in the cellar. She's been put down there because they have a conversation, her and Norman. And so you see her sitting in the chair, and this took a lot of shots supposedly to do this, because there's a lot going on in that shot. So
well, the lighting, to get the lighting and timing, probably.
That was exactly it.
Yeah.
And also the mechanism to turn the chair around as well and stop at the right moment, and the body had to sort of move a certain way. So she taps puts her hand on the shoulder, the chair turns around, and the mother is mummified. Basically, she's been preserved or whatever. And she's been exhumed, basically, hasn't she? From the...
Yes.
She's not looking her best.
She's not.
But what's brilliant is that when she screams, she throws her hand back and knocks a light bulb that swings.
Yeah.
So when you go back to the image of the mother, the movement of the light almost kind of
brings out all different forms.
Yeah, it makes it move almost like it's just really well done. And then she screams.
Yeah.
And which then Norman comes in. He comes in, and he's in, dressed as his mother,
with
basically.
his face very distorted. He's kind of going like this. With his arm up, ready, and because Sam's then saves her.
Yeah.
But it's very disturbing.
Yeah.
His face.
It's a distortion of
the face is really disturbing.
It's almost like when he pulls the wig off, the wig gets pulled off, and it's almost like he's reacting. It's almost like his soul has been ripped apart in some ways.
Yeah,
it's like the two identities has been pulled away from him. Yeah. It's really clever.
It's very clever.
There were some great moments also. Anthony Perkins' acting. There's a great bit where when he pushes the vehicle into the swamp, and you just see the car pauses, and you don't think it's going to go, and he's like, you see this kind of expression of him like, and he's like looking around, it's like, oh no, it's not going to go, and then it goes down, and you just see a very slight flicker of like a little smile. It's like, oh, okay, it's fine.
It does make you wonder how many others are down there.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the thing. Yeah. But also, that's the thing I was getting to as well, is that one of the last scenes, or the last scene of the movie, is them starting to bring the cars back out.
Mm-hmm. And that is the last shot.
Yeah, and that's when, somebody would look inside, obviously find Marion, but also find the money.
Yeah.
And because, that plot is completely all tied up with a bow.
Yeah, it's fabulous.
And it's, something that...
It's so neat.
Yeah, and it's also literally just proves her guilt as well. She was trying so hard to run away from all of that and just escape it. Mm-hmm. And he literally just cements her back into it on her deathbed.
Yeah, it's such a shame though, isn't it? Because in some ways, he almost convinced her to turn her life around. And she never got round. No. She never got the opportunity to.
And then it's all there. It's horrible.
Yeah.
But one of the I find it really quite disturbing. It's a bit like some other movies where you just suddenly get like this image, and it's when they've gone to the hospital, and it's the mother's voiceover.
Yeah, she's taken over.
Yeah, and it's zooming in on him.
Mm-hmm.
They'll see and they'll know, and they'll say, "Why, she wouldn't even harm a fly."
And then suddenly, very slowly, he just sort of like looks up at the camera, and he's got this smirk on his face. I just find that really creepy.
But did you watch the version that's got the superimposed skull? Just as he smiles, just as it fades out to the car,
I don't know.
There's like a skull that comes up. Yeah. But I think that, it's from the original. It's not like it's an updated version or it's the director's cut or anything like that. I think there were a couple of prints where he wanted it, but they didn't have the time to put it in one print, so he did it on the next run of prints or something like that. Oh. So so I was watching the version that had which is I think Amazon Prime, I think.
Oh, no, I had the box set.
Oh, okay.
So maybe it was different.
Maybe it was different. So Lou, scores. I don't know if you really need to score Psycho, but
it scores high for me. I think it probably doesn't it doesn't scare like it like it was probably meant to, but I enjoy it.
Yeah.
And there's an element of comfort in it, even though it's
I think it's because we grew up with it,
Yeah.
and it's like, you know, you
and
have
an
these
emotional attachment to it.
Yes, more
Yeah.
so than that. You know, the subject
Yeah.
matter isn't, you know, but there's, again, with Hitchcock, most of his stuff is quite dark, but then there are fun elements in it. There's
Yeah.
fun little characters.
Yeah.
So there are some lighter moments in it. You know, usually the side characters that bring a little
The
bit
characters
of
and the interaction and
Yeah.
the quirky. Some
Yeah.
of them are quite quirky. I think I'd give it an 8.5.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'll give it an 8.5 as well.
Yeah.
It's great. I mean, I'm sure you've probably seen it, but if you haven't, you should definitely watch it.
So, if you have any comments or anything that we may have missed, we'd love to hear your thoughts.
Absolutely.
And if you'd like us to watch any other Hitchcock films, let us know.
And if you'd like to subscribe and like this video, that would be also brilliant. So thank you so much for watching, and
Thank you.
we'll see you again on Screen Time. Take care.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.